It's the Bhakti Fest. We need to get some Bhakti injections. That can come from somebody who has the injection. Somebody who has Bhakti can give Bhakti. And the life of history has shown this in Sarvabhavana Prabhu. So Sripad Sarvabhavana Prabhu ki jai.
Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksuan Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born into this world of darkness, but my spiritual master has given me the gift of transcendental knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. So I wanted to just try and share a little something I've heard from my masters. We always have to try and take guidance. And guidance from the higher plane is what we want. We're familiar with knowledge of this world, even this universe. But that won't be sufficient to satisfy our most inner hankering. We need knowledge from beyond this world of matter. And that knowledge comes through the great saintly persons and from the Lord himself. And the Lord appears here in this world in the form of his holy name. And it's such a beautiful appearance. And Lord Chaitanya says that that Krishna invests all of his potency, all of his mercy in his holy name. And he's so kind. There's no hard and fast rule for chanting it. So it's very easy for us. In that way, we can get so much benefit. But it's important that we get that name and that we chant it, in the proper mood. And he gives us that also, too. Lord Chaitanya says, if you want to chant the name and really experience a connection with the Lord himself, because he's there, we can believe it. The Lord Chaitanya has said it, and he didn't come, he came for that purpose, to give us mercy, to give us help. Because this age is so difficult. It's a dark age. And we're struggling in this world. With our mind, with our senses, with the environment, with other people, with everything. But one bright light in this fallen age, one wonderful thing that's more magnificent than any previous time, is the holy name that has appeared in this age for our benefit. And we can get everything from that. But Lord Chaitanya says, you need to have a humble mood. When you chant it, feel yourself low and humble. Arrogance has no place in the chanting of the name. And be tolerant. Tolerate whatever circumstances come your way. Everything really is the favorable wind of the Lord. So be tolerant. Be tolerant to other people too, just as we want others to tolerate us. And also give honor to others. Be free in glorifying others. And don't expect honor for yourself. And in that clean consciousness, the holy name will blossom in your heart. And when you're chanting in the association of so many spiritual people, so many devotional hearts, then it's like an amazing experience, an amazing gift. And we can chant together. I feel like this whole land has been blessed by the feet of so many saintly people. So we can take advantage of that very auspicious situation. And the mercy that comes from the association of saintly people is not always visible externally, but it's touching us in a very deep way. It's touching us to the soul. And our minds and our intelligence may not be able to sense that. But we can have faith that this is affecting us on a deeper level. And that deep level is the soul level. And this is where we have to connect to the soul platform. is very expansive. It's large and expansive beyond our imagination, practically. And that's this material world. There's so many planes of consciousness above us. Here we have this consciousness. Some people may have a little more higher consciousness to another dimension, and others. There are many dimensions above. But all of this, within this realm, is material. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, from the highest planet in this universe down to the lowest, they're all filled with birth, death, old age, and disease. Even the heavenly planets that many people aspire to enjoy pleasures, they're temporary. They may last a long time, but ultimately they end. But our necessity is for something permanent. Our necessity, our soul's necessity. We want love. We want beauty. We want ecstasy. We want harmony. We need these things, and we're always searching for them. And material pleasure won't satisfy that. Only something transcendental will. And that transcendental thing has appeared as the Lord's holy name. And so much benefit it gives everyone. Lord Chaitanya is the golden avatar, and he's appeared in this age.
He will appear.
It's said that our spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Rakshakshudra Dev Goswami Maharaj, he described how Lord Chaitanya was very tall. And when he was chanting, above the crowd of people, you could see Lord Chaitanya. He was head and shoulders above everyone else. And so some people described him like a mountain, and his complexion was golden. And so they described him like a golden mountain. But then Srila Guru Maharaj, he went a step further. He said, because what is coming from Lord Chaitanya? The holy name, the chanting of Hare Krishna. And that gift he is giving with the chanting is divine love, prema. And so that golden mountain erupting from that is divine love. Or he said like lava. So he said golden volcano, the golden volcano of divine love. And divine love is the thing that will satisfy our heart's desire. This is what we want. This is really the goal of life. Many spiritualists, they think that peace is a goal, or merging into divine consciousness. Okay, but our heart is hankering for something dynamic, something ecstatic, something ever new. And that's Krishna Prema. Love of Krishna, love of the Lord. But Krishna has many names. We can chant many names. We have a special affinity for Krishna and a few other names. We love to chant Lord Chaitanya's name, Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya. Two brothers are bringing so much mercy to us, and so we're chanting their names. And Krishna, when Mahaprabhu was asked about Krishna's name, he says, I only know two names of Krishna, Shyamasundar and Yasodananda. So many names of Krishna we have, so much sweetness is there. And I must, request you that if you want to hear more, there are so many very experienced, very kind devotees here, like Madhusudan Maharaj, Tyagi Maharaj, Divya Shakti Didi, so many devotees here. Just ask. And if you can serve and help, you will feel some extra sweetness. Actually, we find so much happiness in seva. Chanting brings happiness, but even more in serving the Lord. Because in militaristic way that yes, oh, I've been defeated, and although if I don't surrender, I'll get killed. Not like that. But rather, I'm offering myself to the Lord in a mood of love. Please accept me. Let me be your servitor. Let me do your will, not mine. I've been trying to follow my own desires for lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And where has it gotten me? More suffering, more birth and death. Another lifetime. There's no end to it. It's just again and again and again. But offering ourselves to the Lord, it stops that process. So please, my Lord, take me. And Krishna is very kind. If our prayer is sincere, He will respond. He's anxious for us. He's waiting for us. He won't force us. He wants love. And love can never be forced. But He's waiting for us. Because why? We're all His parts and parcels. And we're connected to Him intrinsically. We're simultaneously one with the Lord and different too. But that difference is our individuality, our freedom. We have independence. We have freedom. Everyone wants freedom. They fight. They have whole revolutions for freedom. And what is that? Because the soul wants freedom. It wants to be able to act as it wants, as it likes, where the heart will take us. Okay. And so that freedom, the perfection of that freedom, is when we come to the realization that our best interest is using that freedom to serve Krishna, using that freedom to offer ourselves to the Lord. And when we take initiation from Guru, the Guru, he does that artik. He offers the disciple like a flower to the Lord, like an offering. And this is the real transaction. This is the significant step in spiritual life, is when we can make connection with a bona fide Guru and offer ourselves with that mood that for so long I've been suffering in this world, and I'm tired of it, I'm sick of it. I want something substantial. I want something eternal. I want love. And not the selfish love we find in this world, but divine love, causeless love, love with no expectation of return, selfless love. I want that type of feeling. And so I'm offering myself to you. We can offer ourselves to the Lord, but it's a bit unclear because we don't have the eyes to see Krishna. But if we have a guru, a spiritual master who's qualified, who's a devotee, we can serve them, we can see them, and they, as a transparent medium, as a pure agent, they offer us to the Lord. And then our connection is real. Our connection is substantial. And we can make so much progress in real spiritual life. And the Lord is very kind. He doesn't limit His appearance into the heart of one devotee, but He appears in many devotees. And we can seek their association. And just as we want to get some connection with that higher plane, we also want to help others. We want to try and distribute that too. And this is Lord Chaitanya's mood. Even we have some little thing, then we want to share it with others. We may think, oh, but I don't have much realization. But we have. If we've heard the name. One time devotees asked Lord Chaitanya, how will I know who is a Vaishnava, who is a devotee? And Lord Chaitanya responded, whoever has once chanted the name of Krishna is a Vaishnava. So we have something. And so we want to try and share that with others. however we can, whatever our capacity is, we can share. And in this way, the mercy spreads so fast. And as we share, automatically we get more. It's never depleted. It only increases. And the more we share, the more we have. The more we give someone just a taste of this sweetness, we become overwhelmed with sweetness. And this is the beauty of Mahaprabhu's movement, of Lord Chaitanya's movement. Anybody? Yes. This, we mainly hear Hare Krishna and Hare Rama because that is the Maha Mantra that was given to us by Lord Chaitanya. And this is the principal mantra for this age. But there are many names of Krishna. For example, often we chant the Hare, Nam Sankirtan. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Yadava Madhava, Keshava, Gopal, Govinda, Ram. Actually, in the Hare Krishna mantra that we're chanting, Rama, the name Rama, does not refer to Lord Ramachandra. One can chant like that. But really the intent is it is Radha Raman Krishna, or the beloved of Srimati Radharani. It's like an address. You want to, write to someone and you have their street address and then you have the city address, to give it more specific, and then the house address. So we're chanting to Krishna, my Lord, please give me your service. But which Krishna? There's Goloka Krishna, Dwarka Krishna, Mathura Krishna. Radha Raman Krishna. That is the Krishna in Goloka. That is the lover of Srimati Radharani. This is our address. It's very specific. That Maha Mantra is very beautiful. But we're not just chanting Krishna's name, we're chanting Hare Krishna. Hare means the energy of the Lord. So it's the Lord and his energy. This is a very beautiful address. Mahaprabhu has given us a perfect address. We can chant other names of the Lord, and that's also part of your freedom. Chant the names of the Lord. But this Maha Mantra is like the perfect way to do. And it's good to precede it with the Panchatattva mantra. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Lord Chaitanya, he came. When Krishna came, he came with his associates, but he came with weapons too, and he killed the demons. Okay. But Lord Chaitanya, when he appeared, he didn't really come with weapons. He came with his associates, the devotees. And they're like his weapons. And they don't kill the demons, but they change their hearts. They give them love. This type of weapon. So we want to take part in that. We want to be a representative of the Lord, to try and spread his love of God, spread his holy name, spread his message of Sankirtan, of distribution of divine love everywhere. So we give honor to Lord Chaitanya and his associates because they came to bring that to us. And they're so exalted, but they came to this dark world to brighten it, to give everyone a chance at a real life, and not just rebirth, birth and rebirth, birth and rebirth, suffering, but sweetness and ecstasy and love and harmony. So we start our chanting with that Panchatattva mantra, and then we chant that perfect mantra, Hare Krishna.
So I don't know, how do you convince your mind whether
So whether we're renunciate or not a renunciate, either way is okay. But what is important is that what direction is our consciousness headed? So you're saying, well, okay, how do we deal with the mind? Because the mind can be very difficult. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna tells Krishna, you want me to control my mind, but I think it's easier to control the wind. And Arjuna was a very exalted personality, and that was his opinion. So for us also, it's very difficult. So how to do? So we must engage in some practical activity, and that is very helpful to us. And that is the other wonderful aspect of seva, Vaishnav seva, because we accept some seva, some service that has some responsible aspect to it. We give, if we are sincere and we request some service, and we're given something that requires us to think about it, to make sure that it's done properly, to consider all the aspects. And in that process of rendering that service, of doing that project, our mind is automatically engaged. Or if you're trying to tell someone about Krishna consciousness and you want to represent this perfect conception, then your mind has to be completely occupied in trying to figure out, what is the best way to present it? What shall I say? How will I be accurate in my representation? And it's completely engaged. And in those times, you'll see that the mind is your friend because it's completely engaged in service. It has no alternative. So the more we can occupy ourselves like that, then the more our mind is, okay, let's go. Like, I was listening to a tape of Srila Prabhupada, and he was saying, and the mind is saying, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, then what do you want me to do? So you have to give your mind some positive engagement. And chanting too. But oftentimes chanting, we may be chanting in our mind, maybe somewhere else. But we have to practice at that. Practice makes perfect. Srila Govinda Maharaj told me, he says, if you just keep chanting, he says the holy name itself will be merciful to you. So we have to have faith. Have faith in the saints. Have faith in the holy name. Have faith in the Lord. And that faith is very strong. That faith is substantial. People may discount the significance of faith. We don't want blind faith. But even if we just say blind faith, it implies that there must be seeing faith. There must be real faith. So what is that? That is our belief, our feeling inside that yes, there's something substantial here. And it may begin small. But the more we progress, we see, it is. I feel this is very good. And the more we go, that faith becomes stronger and stronger as we progress. And it gets to the point where it can't be broken. Then that type of strong faith, that connects us to the divine world. Faith is that one thing that we have here that connects us to that highest plane. Our mind can't connect us there. Our intelligence can't connect us there. Our physical senses, they're so limited. So what do we have that will connect to that transcendental world? Faith. Faith is that substance. And so we can get that faith in the association of devotees, in the association of Vaishnavas. And so that faith, we want to hold on to. Faith about chanting, faith about serving. difficult situation because they've lost faith. Some faith is there, but maybe damaged faith. But, it's hard to convince them otherwise, but sometimes just being friends, just giving some kindness, and sometimes better we can help with it by example rather than just words. And also, remember Srila Govinda Maharaj, he told me, he says, when someone's faith is broken like that, then it takes a guru of a very high type to repair that. So then we just try and encourage them. And then we pray they will find that type of very high guru. Everything very pleasant here. It's hot, but the wind is cooling. We don't chant so much the name of Srimati Radharani, even though tomorrow is her Divine Appearance Day, Most Holy Day. We approach it in a very respectful way. She is we aspire for her service in the very highest level of our aspiration. And following our gurus very respectfully. I remember Srila Sridhar Maharaj, whenever he would even mention the name of Srimati Radharani, he would put his hands to his head like that. Very, very carefully and respectfully. So following in that mood, we don't chant so much directly the name of Srimati Radharani, but in other ways we are, just in the chanting of the Hare Krishna. When we say Hare Krishna, we're meaning the potency of the Lord. Who is the potency of the Lord? Srimati Radharani. And then today also is a very significant day. Not only that we're all gathered here, which is, who could say this is such a wonderful thing, but that today is the appearance day of Sri Lalita Devi, the closest associate of Srimati Radharani. And she is the epitome of seva. She serves the divine couple so perfectly, so continuously. And she also organizes the group of servitors. And our aspiration, our line is coming in connection with her, then to Srimati Radharani, then to Krishna. So Sri Lalita Devi holds such a high position, and she is the emblem of seva, the emblem of service. And service, that should be our life. That is the sweetness everyone needs. And service to Krishna is such a great thing that even the incarnations of Krishna want to serve him. Lord Baladev, he's Mahashankar Sankarshan. He's the first expansion of the Lord. From him comes Mahavishnu, Lord Narayan, so many expansions. And what does he want to do? He wants to serve Krishna. Advaita Acharya in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, he's none different from Mahavishnu. But he takes great pleasure in serving Lord Chaitanya. So seva, service to the Lord. And Srimati Lalita Devi, she controls that world of seva. And so today we are offering our respects to her and praying for her mercy, that we may get some entrance into that land of seva.
Jai. But first of all, it's so great to be here at Bhakti Fest, desert-like place where the drop of divine nectar come in the form of Krishna Kirtan, Krishna Sankirtan. And as we can see that everybody's on some level came here to celebrate the Sankirtan movement that started by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Otherwise, why people would know about chanting of Kirtan? It wasn't popular, 100 years ago in the Western world. Actually, Kirtan came with devotees, and it's been spread out so broadly that other yoga groups and other spiritual seekers, they unanimously decide, no matter what you do, Kirtan is a very important part. So, obviously there are different types of Kirtan. It's just like one question was previously, why people singing and which conditions? And some people answer, I'm singing when I'm happy, I'm singing when I'm sad. The soldiers also singing when they approach death. Or people singing song before they get, prosecuted. They're singing songs and they stand their values. So there are different types of songs. There's one song is to enjoy yourself and, have a good time, which we have at night in our Crazy Dome part. Which is also people like to use the nice soft music and mantras, but that's not exactly the mood which we're coming to chant Krishna name. The name of Krishna has to be chanted with proper mood. It's not something to entertain you. It's not an entertainment process, kirtan. However, it's very attractive. And really it's capturing your heart if you do the right thing. So Sarvabhavana Prabhu, who is our dear devotee friend and exclusive follower of Kirtan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, it's not like that we're coming in a very general spiritual beginning level and we already nourish all these divine names of Radha and Krishna. That sounds very it's like child coming to, the grow-up land and trying to, pick up some piece of stick as a cigarette or try to imitate adults, with their behavior. So, as we understand, before that inner quality comes to your heart, you need to grow. And inner growth considered to be eternal growth. It's not like, I've been 5 years and now I've been chanting for 5 years. It says in the scriptures that Lord Ananta, who's infinite divine, being, snake-like, that holds the whole universes on his spiritual body as little seeds of mustard seeds, which means he's gigantic. Ananta means unlimited. He can't properly glorify the name of Krishna because Krishna is infinite for infinity. Krishna is not like, he's like a god for few mortal guys who kind of have to worship him as a cult, and if they don't worship him, Krishna's done, he doesn't exist. No, he's a Swayam Bhagavan, Supreme Personality of God. All avatars comes from him. It says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matak sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajanti mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Everything comes from me. Atheism comes from me, Jack. Buddha comes from me, who's actually telling, there is no God, please worship me. It's an interesting thing when we live in Thailand and we speak with a Buddhist monk. And I ask him, is Buddha a simple person? He said, yes. If he's a person that achieved perfection, yes. Why can't you worship me? Or him, or her, or this baby. No, I worship Buddha. So he's not just a simple person. He's an altar of every temple. And his names are purifying names. And his life is great life of a great saint. And showing himself divine path. But at the same time, Buddha's coming to cheat atheists, because atheists, they're looking for thrill, they're looking for escape, not to believe in God. So God tell them, don't believe in me, just worship me, So that's what Buddhists do. They offer him incense and they're sitting in meditation on Buddha, and they say, there's nothing exists, nothing, I don't even exist. So if you like to do that, that's fine with God. He's a very clever person. And Krishna is a big cheater. Do you know why he's cheater? He cheats those who have self-cheating propensity, who's not really to prepare the truth. If you're looking for escape, God give you the best one. So he's a cheater, he's a liar. Why he's a liar? Because he can't hear the truth as well. Like I've said, we would assume in modern age, things like spiritual things we're talking about here would be spoken by the biggest guys in the world. But actually, you know what? Biggest guys in the world not speaking about these things. You know why? They're not popular. You can't really schmooze the public. Well, as soon as you speak some kind of a bullshit with a smart man, a smart face, and science, and at best they can speak about consciousness. But where's the source of consciousness? One of the quality of consciousness can be conscious about itself. There's never consciousness devoid from personality. We can say there's a cosmic consciousness, but if there's only cosmic consciousness exists, who we are. Are we not conscious beings? So God is not a conscious being? Oh, there's also cosmic consciousness and me, two people. So there's one guy here who's like Advaita Vedanta follower, and he told me everything is Advaita, everything is one, everything is unity, everything is nothing. I said, are you married? He said, yes. I said, try to tell your wife, you're nothing to me. Everything is one. Yeah, your wife is going to kick your ass. So this year I spoke with the guy and I said, then why you have the wife? If everything is one, why not to masturbate? I'm sorry. You have your wife because you want to share some love and appreciation. Am I correct or not? Otherwise, why you need somebody else? You can be fooling yourself and you know what it is. So, I mean, sorry for jokes, but it translates really to that kind of simple level when you talk about all these philosophical statements like you're the great guy, you have an identity, so you're microbe-like, but you're charging who God is. You like to get stoned, you like to dance and chant. It doesn't really work. When you drink vodka or holy name, you want to enjoy, right? You want to be unconsciously moved towards level where every step is a dance and every word is a song. Well, spiritual world is bunch of retired people who's like in a nursing home. They're like, oh my God, we're like eternal, retired beings. No, it's not like that. Krishna's name, Navayovana, means Krishna is incredibly sweet and he's fresh at every moment. So as soon as you try to grasp Krishna with your mundane mind, he already changed. So it's impossible to catch up with Krishna unless you offer him your heart. Once heart to be offered to Krishna to media of sacrifice, then all this chanting has meaning. That's why it says in the scriptures, without self-giving, self-sacrifice, you can chant forever Krishna name and never come to Krishna. Do you know why? Why Krishna care? You can chant other songs. It has to be offering of your own inner self, which is truly you. Then whatever you chant will make a lot of sense. Because the only spirit soul can chant name of God. There's no physical tongue, there's no physical mind. None of it is real and substantial. Therefore we call it sahajya, which means taking some spiritual concept and bring it to virtual-like reality world and cover into, false perception. So, there's a false mundane religion. And everybody knows what it is. It's meant for controlling the society, bring rules and regulations. It's part of political regulation of the world. But none of it is really, truly excites Krishna. Not only that, like we think, there's so many yogas and so many mystics. You know what Krishna say? When great rishis and munis, great enlightened yogis meditating on me, it's good for them. It's like you meditate on Krishna, Krishna say, hey, good for you, man, keep doing it. How much you've been doing this? Billion years. Keep doing it, doing a good job. But what Krishna say, but when gopis, my beloved gopis, curse me, then start make sense to me. And those girls saying, oh, Krishna is such a bad man. You were supposed to dance with me, but you kind of dance with another girl. Krishna, how dare you are. You womanizer, you cheater, you liar. If we find you, we're going to whip your ass. So one time, Krishna, hiding in Vrindavan from the girls, and, hard to get away from these girls. There's a lot of really cool girls, and, they run fast. So Krishna's ran faster, but the problem, Krishna has yellow pants, yellow dhoti. So no matter how he ran in the forest, they can trace him because the yellow color, So once Krishna ran away, and he thought, well, they're gonna catch me, they're gonna beat me, and he was so happy. Then he thought, let me become Narayan. So he assumed his four-headed form of Narayan and stand like a supreme lord. And Gopi just ran through. When they saw Narayan, they said, hey, stop it, stop it. It seems like Narayan himself, the God himself here. Let's approach him. And what was their prayer? They want to approach Narayan. And their prayer is, please let us catch Krishna. Let us be with Krishna. If you are God, if you can do something for us, give us that intimate desire fulfillment. And what happened to Krishna? He melted. He couldn't sustain his four-headed form. He's just melted, and he showed his beautiful Yat Shama Sundara Chintya Guna Swarupa, his beautiful form of Shama Sundaram, and Gopis start weeping him. And that was like the happiest moment in his life, when he got punished by his devotees. Think of this, how sweet this Lord. His joyful pastimes of erotic pastimes, his childhood pastimes, his friendshood pastimes, his, different types of pastimes, all of them address the deepest core of our heart. Like, we're looking for a lover, and he can appear as lover. We're looking for a baby to take absolutely care of him, and Krishna is your baby. He's like pissing on you, and you love him. Anybody will piss you on Bhakti Fest, you're probably not going to like that. But if Krishna will, you're going to love him. Why? Because you're a baby. He can appear as your beautiful baby. That's how important to understand Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, if you don't get this, religion becomes dry, philosophically, you have to understand, philosophy is something very far away from most of the people. And most people can't even understand. You know why? Because it's ununderstandable. Because it's an intellectual, mainly. So we don't want to go to this intellectual level. So your question is, so what is my position? So Lord Brahma, who's a great brahmachari at a certain part of his life, and also creator of the world, he said, Gyani prayasan udapasya namanteva. You have to give up your own conception, what divinity is and what reality is. Because if you try to perceive reality with your own imperfect senses, which is part of the mind, you can't do it. It's impossible. This hard drive is very small. Rather, you have to download, you have to stay online. Once you stay online, you're not staying on the hard drive of your own limited mind. The things will descend to you, and that's what we call devotional service. So when knowledge descending to our heart, and when pure knowledge descending to our heart, then we can be connected with Krishna. But we also should remember, Krishna has absolute rights to descend and not to descend. It's not like you plug into Krishna and he's forever entertaining you, schmoozing you with spiritual knowledge, and hey, you're bored today, let me send you something new. It actually will happen if you have real internal life. And that's what you're inspiring for. It's basically, you're inspiring for internal life. And that's what Sarvabhavana Prabhu told you. Very, very important. And I'm actually so happy to hear his talk. I want to sign up him on preaching tour. Do you know why? Because really it takes a long time to collect the essence. Like Srila Prabhupada, he was a friend of our guru. First time he came to meet with Sridhar Maharaj in Prayag, Srila Prabhupada was a pharmacist. He was a great pharmacist in Allahabad, holy place. He constantly chosen that place. Let me go work in a holy place. But he had to support his family, his father, although he was from Bengal. When Sridhar Maharaj and some other brahmacharis of Gaudiya Math came to his house, his father would not want to go down. Because his father thought, this Mayavadi sadhus, now they're going to tell me, oh, God is one, I'm God, you God, all this bullshit. So his father wouldn't want to come. But when his father heard Kirtan, Srila Prabhupada came and he said to his father, they're Vaishnavas, they're our Bengali Vaishnavas. They're not this Advaitavadi or Mayavadi, they're the devotees of Krishna. And so father was very happy. He was very happy to look at Sridhar Maharaj's talk, Harikatha, and that's how they made very good friendship with Srila Prabhupada. But think of this. At that time, Sridhar Maharaj was already sannyasi because he took sannyas at a very early age. But Srila Prabhupada kept all his life working as a pharmacist, family maintainer, but internally he was deeply practiced Krishna consciousness, and he had incredible aspiration to serve his guru. So when the time came, Krishna took everything away. He became a great sannyasi, and after becoming a great sannyasi, he didn't come here to Bhakti Fest. Oh, everybody worship me. He went to Vrindavan, living on 3-4 rupees a month, baking food and translating books, because he knew if I want to give something to the world, it has to be real and substantial. So most people don't know that he actually copy and paste commentary of his guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Vishwanath Chakravarti. But it's called Guru Parampara. It's in our line. It's not plagiarism. He's taking all these best ideas of his guru, other saints, and putting it in his books. That's why he normally said everything in my books. Why? Not because of he blaming for himself. That he was reading other great saints, and of course, we know there are more and more and more for different levels of consciousness. But he came up with an incredible spiritual literature, which is a bhakti kavya, bhakti literature, which is very important for the whole world, because once you start connecting with this idea, it starts making sense. Otherwise, if you're Indian or other people know, you go to India, everybody chants something, right? It's like you won't find Indian who will not appreciate kirtan. Even if he's a Muslim guy, he still would chant Hare Krishna or any Vaishnava songs or Hindi songs, and he would be, appreciating that. So in India, everybody chant. It's not just like few people here. But what the difference is between those who chant, and our question is what is you chanting? Is that self-sacrifice? Is that offer? Is that real, substantial? Is that divine? Or is that something shadow-like or illusory? Therefore, Srila Prabhupada and our gurus never liked people chanting. Although they were the kirtan givers, but to them chanting was something very substantial. So if you hear Prabhupada's sound, you discover two things. First of all, he does not know how to sing. Prabhupada was not a singer. But there's some kind of a mystical tune is coming from his chant. That's like an incredible thing, because those who knows Bengali songs, Vaishnava Bengali songs, they understand he's not follow them. But he's got this Nivriti, the Vaikuntha, the spiritual world coming through his heart. And although he's not a singer, he's not a chanter, his chanting is so charming, so taking your heart, and you can understand that's not like a music of the senses. So Prabhupada never had a sensual music. His chanting was so sincere, so deep, and that's what we're trying to accomplish. And that's the difference between everybody else and us. Because we're not trying to become musical about kirtan. We're not trying to become emotional about kirtan, because it's all mundane senses. What we try to do, we try to get one drop of reality. So anybody has any questions? Maharaj, you want to say something? I probably have to see some friends. Any questions? One question, please give. 1 rupee, one question. You give question, I give 1 rupee. You give 1 rupee, I give 1 question. And if you cannot ask question, I will ask you question. That is become even worse. So anyway, I've seen so many great souls. Sarvabhavana Prabhu, Jagannath Swami, Jaibalai Prabhu, all great devotees, and all giving their life to Krishna consciousness. And that's what really matters, because anybody can come and enjoy for the weekend. I become Baba for the weekend. Only. I'm a weekend Baba. And I'm Baba, like somebody asked me, Maharaj, how should I take sannyas? I said, well, you're obviously thinking of sex 24 hours, right? He said, yes. You're a sincere person. So try to take sannyas for 1 hour. And if you can stay 1 hour, take more. Go 1 hour more. And if you can go two hours, it's okay. You're already perfect soul, but try to go 4 hours. So, but how you do that? How not to think about mundane things, at least for 1 hour, or for 1 minute, for 1 second. You have to think about something else, right? You just can't have your mind empty. If you try to have your mind empty, maybe for a second, fragment of a second you can do it. So then Krishna is saying, Gita, man mana bhavamat bhakto. You have to replace. So you have to think of Lord and think of Him constantly, and that will take you away from all mundane miseries. And most experience, someone can do that if he's in a very hard stage of life. Unfortunately, when we're happy on material level, it takes us away from spiritual things. But when we're suffering, therefore pain is the best medicine. That's why God giving us pain. If God wouldn't give us pain, we could not get out of this world. And devotee, actually heart is always in the pain. But that's like a very sweet pain. So people think, oh, I'm trying to escape suffering. Actually not, that's not the goal. The goal is that your pain of separation of Lord is growing. And as you approach that understanding, then you become more advanced in spiritual life. So the Hare Krishna people chant Hare Krishna not because they enjoy Hare Krishna. That's a big mistake. Hare Krishna people chant Hare Krishna because they cannot do so. They cannot do something else. You know, normal devotee would say, I would give up my chanting a long time ago, but I can't give up. A good devotee say, I'm trying to chant, there's nothing is there. But still I cannot give up that. I'm trying. And that's what Krishna consciousness is. Keep trying. So I'm so happy to show you these guys. They're trying for a long time, you know. And you know what? You keep trying for a long time. In a fragment of second, you have a drop of reality, and that drop of real spiritual substance is like elixir of immortality. A time of it will release you from material reality. So that's very important for us. The philosophy that we're trying to present here at Bhakti Fest. We just have to keep trying to go deeper, stay in association with devotees. And with your permission, I need to leave to see some friends because they're waiting for her. And thank you so much. I'm very inspired to see all the saintly persons, great listeners. There's always a handful, but you know. Hare Krishna.
Like Bimal, Avadhut Maharaj ki jai. Sarvabhavana Prabhu ki jai. Jai Balai Prabhu, would you like to say something to the... We are also, Jai Balai Prabhu is very humble. He's also a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, so means 40 years plus as a devotee. Also Hari Vallabha Prabhu, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, 40 years plus devotee. Jagannath Swami Prabhu, disciple of Srila Prabhupada. I can say 40 years plus, maybe lifetimes plus devotee. So we are really in a very good association of persons who have practiced devotional life for a long time. And so it is our good fortune. So we can invite somebody, we can invite Hari Vallabha to lead us in some chanting of Hare Krishna in the line of Mahaprabhu's devotees.